Okay, so as I talked about in the previous videos, I kind of gave an overview of what the 12 houses were, and in this video I'm going to focus on the first house. The first house is I am. It's awareness of yourself, your outer appearance, your personality. It's just like, it's kind of superficial in a way. It's what people think of you. It's how you appear. It's like your clothes on your body. It's like what is your style saying about you? And it's not like all the way superficial because it still is representative as who you choose to present yourself as in this world. And it's not like just the choice of who you choose to present yourself as, but it's just like how you come off to people. And it may not be how you really are on a deeper level, but on an outer level, when you're dealing with the general public or social media or just people you come across in your everyday life, they're going to see you as your first house. This first house is determined by your rising sign, which can also be called your ascendant. So I think a good idea I'll do is go through the 12 signs and what it might look like to have different first houses. You need to know your time of birth in order to determine this. So if you don't know the time of birth, this video will just be for learning purposes. But if you do know your time of birth, you can find you can find the description of your first house through this video. So if we have an Aries first house, it's going to be someone who Aries is represented by the ram. So this person might look very eccentric in a way. It's a fire sign, so they might have like a colorful appearance, the way they dress themselves. They could even look disheveled if you think about it, because Aries has a lot to do in a little time. So it might be someone who just throws stuff together so they can just, get on the road and do what they need to do. If you have Taurus as your first house, rising sign, I talked about that already, but it'd be someone who seems more grounded and like, Taurus is ruled by Venus, so they might look like a very loving person that you want to, very feminine and sensual. So they might dress in a seductive way or just in a visually pleasing way, a way that just seems so inviting or beautiful. They might be a very beautiful person. Or indulgent. If Gemini is their rising, it's going to be someone who talks a lot. But they could even be someone who's like a Scorpio, which would be more introverted, but this person might talk just enough, as far as appearance goes. They could be like, they could dress in a way that makes you think that they're one way, and they could be the other way. They might dress very professional, but just be really laid back or something. I say that because Gemini's ruled by Mercury, so this person will have some kind of trickster energy, and they will talk a lot, and they'll be oriented, towards research and stuff. But yeah, it's the outward personality. Gemini is represented by humans, though, the twins, so they might have a appearance that it might change up a lot. It might just be fitting for the moment. They might dress to they might dress for the occasion a lot, and they might be perceived as a very versatile person. A fourth a Cancer rising person will probably have like a very voluptuous body, because Cancer represents, the mother. So they might dress like or appear as someone who's very nurturing, mother-like. They like to take care of people that they care about. Yeah, I think Cancer rising might They might like cultural. They might like to dress like very cultural too, like especially if it's towards their culture or even other cultures, because it's ruled by the roots. So if it's like a person who's really into Black Power and stuff, like they might always dress a certain way, or they might find something they're really passionate about and dress in that way, so that when you see them, they're like, this is who I am. Like, I'm totally for this movement or this movement. You might be able to understand what they are passionate about or what they really care about based on how they dress. So if it was someone who dressed in all black, you might associate them with having like this Cancer rising might be like a very dark person. I don't know. The fifth house. What are we at? Leo. Is that right? Nah. Yeah, Leo. So this person might dress very flashy, like they want to be the center of attention. They want to capture people's attention, and they want it to be different and individual. A Leo rising person is all about, being who they are and being comfortable in that. And they really might not really even care how people perceive them, because they're just so in their own world. But when they do like want to show out, they grab all the attention in the room. The Virgo rising person, I have a Virgo rising, so I think I appear very organized to people. It's still ruled by Mercury, so very, very communicative person, but I think I communicate with an intention. Gemini might just communicate for the sake of it. Virgo has more of a groundedness to them, so they're communicating about things that benefit them, like in the workplace or just in their daily life, or things that help serve people or help connect people to perhaps resources that make their lives easier. They'll be a very neat person, not so flashy like Leo. Maybe will like certain colors and stick to those and make sure they match and stuff. They won't look disheveled at all. They will look very clean cut and just very neat. And they may not be like that underneath the surface, but on the surface, like in front of everyone, yes, that's how they'll appear. If you have a Libra rising, this person will just appear very nice and compassionate and very understanding and very diplomatic. They might be into making sure everything is symmetrical in their appearance. They say Libra rule the eyebrows and stuff, so you're not going to see too many imbalances in their appearance unless they're like an imbalanced person. So it might be that they're very balanced, come off very balanced, or very unbalanced. But yeah, Libra rising would be someone who loves to relate to people, and they might also be someone who changes the way they present themselves to appear more relatable to other people. So if they like grew up in the hood and that's all they know, but they go to like some place that's more affluent, they might quickly adapt to dressing more fluently to fit in with those people in that crowd and relate to them. I'm sorry. Okay. The 8th house, I went over this before too, Scorpio rising. It's just going to be somebody with a very dark appearance. Something about them will be dark and off-putting the way they appear. And it may not be that they're that way, but they might present themselves that way to just ward off any unwanted energy. They'll be like, look, you don't want to mess with me. So they might wear dark clothing or like metal spiky stuff or crystals. They might appear very spiritual too, because Scorpio rules underground type things, and it deals with death and rebirth and spiritual. So their appearance might go through a lot of transformations. They could even have injury to their appearance, or something that kind of sets them apart in a unsettling way in their appearance, or they might have like a lot of tattoos, or yeah, I don't know, something like that. Sagittarius rising will, and this is, every time I say rising, this is the start of someone's first house. But Sagittarius rising, they're going to appear as a very philosophical person who knows a lot, who's been through a lot of experiences. So they might appear very wise, like a sage, Sagittarius, sage, yeah. So they're going to be like, they might dress like a guru or something, or just someone who's like, or a pastor, a preacher, like, they got to look the part of what they believe in, like, yeah, just by looking at this person, you will tell that they've been a lot of places, and they might look like someone who's understanding, and even if they don't necessarily look like it, when you talk to them, you might feel like they can understand you from a broad perspective. But also in the same breath, sometimes they're so set in their way of viewing life that they might be someone who wants to convince you that their way of seeing life is the only way to see it. So yeah, Sagittarius is ruled by half man, half beast. So something about this person might look kind of beastly, like, yeah, or just athletic or raw. They could be someone who really loves to be in the gym, and they might just look like a rough and tough kind of person. The 10th house would be Capricorn, and this person is ruled by the goat. So their bone structure might be kind of interesting because Capricorn rules the bones. They might be like very stern looking or cold, or they might even look, I think Capricorn rules like a darker complexion kind of person. But it kind of makes me think like they could look just like stale. Like, what you see is what you get. They may look like they don't come to play no games, very focused on their goal, and they might look like someone who's not easily swayed. But Capricorn in general, I've seen those people that have good style. So like, yeah, they could still look cool. Like, they might resemble a Scorpio rising in a way. They could still have a darkness to them, but they might look like very professional because they're all about career and reputation. And Saturn is about something being cold and, stern and restricted. So they might have like restrictions on their appearance, or it might not change that often. I don't know. Moving on to Aquarius rising. This person will probably look like Dennis Rodman. No, I'm just kidding. No, I'm not kidding all the way. They just might look very eccentric, like Lady Gaga or something. Like, they're gonna be different, the way they appear, the way they act, and they'll be someone who's here and there. So yeah, it's something about them that will be uncontrollable in their appearance. Like, it'll be something unique and different. Because we're by Uranus, which is all about differences and how you can be different from everyone else in a way. And then the last one, 12th house, Pisces rising person. So they might have a spiritual kind of look to them, or dreamy nature, or someone that's like hard to figure out. Like, you may not know their intentions, and the way they dress just might be kind of, I don't want to say weird, but it might be like stylish, but it won't be like stylish according to the whole standard of everyone else. Like, it might match and stuff, but it might be like it's stylish in their own way, and so you kind of like respect it, but you're like, it's still different. It's not like necessarily trendy. It's just like it might represent how they really feel spiritually, the way they present themselves. So they might wear like, they could have colorful stuff. But yeah, I'm getting kind of tired just talking about all these risings. But I hope that I gave you guys a better understanding. If you want me to talk about one of your rising signs in more depth, maybe I will. And maybe that's how I'll do my future videos, by request of different energy. Peace. Like, subscribe, share. Let me know if you want me to talk about something in particular. I got you.